Hey loves, you really liked my video last time about success stories, so I wanted to talk more about those, about manifesting a specific person, so you guys can see or be motivated that you can absolutely achieve any of this too. Whenever anyone is in a no contact situation, what's our first response, right? We want to go out and we want to take action to get exactly what it is that we want. But instead, we know that we need to make and put all of that energy onto our internal state, right? But it always feels very weird and very illogical because everything else that we've done in our life is always about going outside of us, taking action outside of us, making movement. So if our specific person isn't showing up in the way that we want, our first thought is our logical mind wants to take action. Again, do something, right? And when we're not doing something, we kind of feel weird. We kind of feel like we feel confused. We feel like isn't there more that we should be doing? And obviously everybody is going to go through this feeling at some point or another. So just note that that is completely natural. But remember to kind of satisfy this idea of your logical mind desiring to take action. Remember that you absolutely are taking action, just not on anything outside of you. All that we're doing is going to be on our internal state. So now kind of showing or showcasing a success story that kind of goes along these lines. And then let me know in the comment section below if you guys kind of have ever been in the same exact situation and if it was very helpful to you. So a lot of times when you see your specific person not showing up in the way that you want, you definitely need to go internally and change those assumptions, right? Because you're the director of the play in your reality. However you are assuming someone to act, they are then going to act outside of you, right? You're making that script. Again, you're the director and everyone is the actors and actresses outside of you kind of playing out to that assumption that we're having. So if you do see that your specific person is not showing up in your reality, again, the first thing is to take our attention off of that. We don't want to give attention. We don't want to give a life to a reality that we don't want. The more we actually give attention to this, the more we're, again, recreating that, basically re-fortifying the assumption within us. So the success story goes with this idea that this was happening, and the main advice was to pull back, right? To not give in to this reality that we don't want. Again, only asking for exactly what you desire, because that's what you should be doing all the time. You should only ever accept exactly what you want in your reality because you absolutely deserve it. But the fear comes up, and this is a fear that I've seen hundreds of times during my coaching sessions, right? The first fear that comes up, if your SP is not acting in the way that you want, and you want to pull back, you're thinking, but what if I never, ever hear from them again, right? What if they don't text me anymore? What if this, what if that? Basically going to the extreme in the negative side, right? We are thinking, what if the most horrible thing happens to me? But the reason, and I guess the success story is like a bunch of success stories all in one. I have heard and seen countless times, even in my coaching sessions, actually, especially in my coaching sessions, every time this has happened, and I've told everyone to put their faith in their subconscious, in themselves, rather than anything external, 1000% of the time, they always continue communicate. Sorry, I can't talk right now. They continue communication with their specific person. And when I say 100%, I mean literally 100%. I've not seen someone in my coaching session go through this, see their specific person not act in the way that they want, and then kind of roll back, focus your attention internally, and then not see their specific person come back in the exact way that they want. But I wanted to make this video because this was an overwhelming assumption or thought that I've seen throughout any of my coaching sessions. Like I had a couple today that literally spoke of this same fear. They're fearing that if they don't act on their those logical actions that they want to take, that if they don't comply, maybe is a word, with their specific person as they are, even though it's not exactly what they want, that they may have nothing, right? Because our mind thinks I can either take my specific person as they are right now, or I don't get anything, right? That's our fear. We're thinking we can either have them, even though they're not perfect, at least I'm getting them. But the other alternative is not having them at all. But that is absolutely not your options. Your options are this less than perfect alternative or the exact person that you want. Those are your options. Don't think it's this or nothing. It's this or the amazing version of your specific person that you have always seen or wanted or desired. The exact specific person that you see in your mind when you're imagining your end state of your wedding day or whatever that it is. But again, I want to reiterate, when I say 100% of everyone who has done this has seen their specific person show up exactly as they want, I literally mean 100%. Not like 99%, not 99.9%. Literally 100% always see exactly what they desire come back in their reality. And the same exact thing goes with third parties, because that's something I also wanted to talk about today, because I literally had a success story happen today in a coaching call. So there was someone who was manifesting their SP and they had a third party, but this third party, obviously, whenever we're manifesting our specific person, that's one of our fears, right? That they could potentially go off with someone else. But remember that if you have the desire for your specific person, then it means you are absolutely meant to be with them. There's literally no other option that could ever happen. You have the desire, so it means you are meant for that thing. But again, it took 3 weeks to manifest a third party away. But this entire time, the person I was coaching literally didn't believe me. I was like, okay, if you continue with your internal state, you focus on yourself, and we did a bunch of other techniques and ideas, you're going to get exactly what you desire. You're going to wish the best for this third party, because since you have the desire, it means you're meant to be with your specific person. But that also means that the third party also is meaning to be elsewhere. They're meaning to be with their specific person in another timeline or a time frame or whoever it is that they desire. So always wish the absolute best for a third party. But anyway, the entire time this person kind of doubted the entire process. And the funny thing is, during my coaching sessions, if you ever have doubt, you could even do it on these videos. If you ever have doubt, just throw it on me. I'll be the anxiety holder. I'll be the one who basically firmly believes that you can absolutely have your specific person no matter what. So if you have anxiety, just say, okay, Kyle can worry about that for me. I don't have to worry about that. But absolutely, with this idea, I'm like 100%, I guarantee you will see the third party move on, because that's what has to happen. That's the absolute perfect outcome that literally needs to occur because you have the desire. So again, you must then have that thing. But again, it was this 3 weeks of, she actually went into this journaling because she had a lot of success with journaling. So again, if you have a technique that you get a lot of success on, you really want to focus on that, because that's what's really getting you into that state. So whether it's visualizations, affirmations, or journaling, or whatever it is that really gets you into that state, you want to, I don't want to say mainly focus on that, but basically, because that thing is going to be the deciding factor between you getting it in the absolute quickest way possible. Because if journaling is what really gets you into that state, really gets you into that mode, affirmations are only going to do it halfway for you. And obviously, I would say to always kind of consistently remain and stay in a manifestation schedule to get into a natural state. But again, if you find that journaling is the best, who's to say you can't journal 3-4 times a day and kind of switch out everything with a journaling prompt? That's perfectly fine. But again, this person journaled, and in 3 weeks, again, the whole time did not believe that it was going to happen. Again, so this kind of weighs in too. Remember that thoughts, doubtful thoughts, fears, worries, anxieties are not going to mess up your manifestation. It's all about the feeling that you're having internally and the assumptions. Literally, nothing is going to mess that up. If you have the assumption, your subconscious mind is literally a part of you. It's a part of you. It is you. So when you have that assumption, it's looking out for you. It wants the best for you. You know what you want. You could never not know what you want. So I've even heard people kind of fearfully saying, like, what if I manifest something I don't want? Well, in this case, remember that your subconscious mind always wants to point towards the positive, towards the desirable, towards exactly what you want, because it's you, and you could never mess up what you're desiring, right? But again, this person doubted it the whole time. And then today, we kind of had the full discussion that, okay, now this third party is literally completely gone. And literally during that time also. So this is something to really keep your mindset up and know that the bridge of events can happen in any way possible. During this time, they kind of saw their SP act in ways that they didn't normally did, right? It was kind of worse. I don't want to say worse, but kind of they were acting very aggressive or angry or resentful, and it seemed kind of negative. But again, remember, it's the bridge of events. This person is kind of moving through. We're seeing the old state collapse into the new one. I actually want to make a whole video on that. But just for now, remember that if you're moving states, you can see things happen. Actually, I kind of already made a video on it. You can see things around you begin to collapse because obviously that's your old state and you want it to go away. So you're dying to that old state. So you need to go into the new and think about dying or your old reality collapsing. It can sometimes feel very strange and uncomfortable and weird, right? Because the whole reality is collapsing away to make rise for the new one. The example or metaphor I always like to use is like, if you're going to build a new building, you have to collapse the old one, right? And in the place of it, you're going to build that new building. But during the time of collapse, you may be fearful, oh, I don't have a house to sleep in. What am I going to do? What if I can't build this? What if the blueprints don't work, right? But that's the uncomfortable movement into the new state. That's always going to happen, and it is completely normal. But again, this person, in 3 weeks, journaling prompt moved and created a new reality where the specific person was no longer with this third party, and you absolutely can do this too. So 1000%, remember. So I guess the first one was like a manifestation success of literally, I guess, everyone, because no matter what, I've never seen that fail. I've never seen the assumption of your end and the focus on your internal state rather than your external reality. I've never seen that fail. So if you're worried that moving or not giving attention to the specific person or the reality that you don't want, kind of drawing your attention away from that, if you're fearful that that could potentially result in your specific person not talking to you, 100%, that's never happened in the history of anything. So do not fear that. And then remember also, when you assume that end state, even, again, things can seemingly look like they're collapsing when everything is absolutely going perfectly fine. So absolutely never forget that. But if you guys did have any more questions on this, or literally you want me to make a video on a specific question or idea, leave it down in the comment section below. You guys can also reach out to me on my website, which is kyleaugustcoaching.com. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on this video, and then also don't forget to subscribe. But that's all I got for you guys today. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.